So, hey everyone, and welcome to a deep dive on something that can really trip up small businesses and even Acumatica consultants. We are talking about keeping your data clean. Now, we've got an ERP expert from Tayana Solutions with us to help us unpack this. Dipak, welcome to the show. Now, you've got 4 years under your belt working with ERP systems and over 200 different situations you've tackled. So, you know firsthand just how much even like a little data gap can turn into a massive problem later on. So, for our listeners who might be dealing with this or maybe just want to avoid it altogether, can you paint us a picture of what can go wrong when you're adding a new product and you don't have all that vendor info hooked up? Sure. So, let's say you're a business owner and you've got this some new product you're adding to your system, but you're missing some key vendor details. Well, the first thing that comes to mind is when it's time to restock, you're kind of stuck, right? You don't know where to order it from. You're digging through old emails, maybe invoices, just wasting so much time. And that delay, that can really mess things up. It throws off your production schedule. Your customer orders might get delayed, and ultimately, your bottom line takes a hit. It's like that old saying, garbage and garbage out. You know, if the data going into your system is bad, the information you're getting out of it is going to be messed up too. And those bad reports, those can lead to all sorts of headaches. You might end up with inaccurate inventory counts. Maybe overstocking, or even worse, running out of stock. Definitely. And when your inventory is all over the place, your financial forecasts, those are going to be way off. Makes sense. Which could even affect things like getting loans, or making smart investment decisions. So this is about way more than just, being organized and efficient. It really impacts the whole financial health of the business. It really does. Now, I know Tayana Solutions has come up with a pretty neat solution for Acumatica users who are running into this issue. We have, and the details are right here in the source material we've got. Can you walk us through that? Sure. So, we noticed a lot of Acumatica users struggling with this whole missing vendor data. So, we decided to develop a custom solution that adds a little safety check, right? During what we call the persisting event. Okay, so persisting event for those of us who aren't, tech geniuses. Can you break that down a bit? You're working on a document on your computer and you're trying to save it, but you haven't given it a name, right? What happens? The software is probably going to pop up a message saying, hey, you need to name this before you can save it. Our solution, it's basically doing the same thing. Before Acumatica saves that new stock item, our code jumps in and checks if there's at least one vendor linked. If not, it blocks the save and tells the user, hey, you're missing some info here. Oh, that's smart. It's all about catching those errors early on. So, it's like a built-in safety net to make sure the data is good from the get-go. Are there any other solutions out there? There are always a few different ways to approach something like this, right? Some businesses might rely on manual checks, have someone double-check those new stock items before they go into the system. Others might use data import tools that require vendor information as part of the imply. But those methods, they can be a bit time-consuming, and there's always the risk of human error. You're relying on someone to catch everything. Exactly. And they might not be as seamlessly integrated into the workflow as a customized solution would be. It sounds like Tayana Solutions really took a proactive approach here. That's right. So, listening to user needs, that's a big part of your philosophy. Absolutely. We believe the best solutions come from understanding those real-world problems. We really work closely with our clients to figure out where the pain points are, and then develop solutions that fit their specific needs and processes. I think that's a great takeaway for our listeners. Whether you're using Acumatica or any other ERP system, right? Just take a moment to step back and look at your processes. Are there any spots where data might be slipping through the cracks? It's worth considering. What kind of safeguards can you put in place to make sure your data is accurate? Yeah, and prevent those little errors from snowballing into major problems. That's a great point because as we've seen, those little errors, they can have a huge impact. They really can. Now, this specific customization, it's just one example, but really highlights a bigger idea. What's that? Don't be afraid to get creative when it comes to solving those ERP challenges. Don't limit yourself. Sometimes you got to think outside the box. Exactly. Great advice, Dipak. Now, for our listeners who might be facing similar issues with their ERP system, I highly recommend giving Tayana Solutions a call. Their number is 678 9102774. They can talk through your specific needs and see how they can help. Thanks so much for taking this deep dive with us, Dipak. It's been great having you on the show. All right, everyone. We'll see you next time.